Hey guys, Thomas Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, here to review the Magnificent Seven. So I had heard pretty good things about this movie, at least at first glance, so I decided to check it out. And with other movies with a uh, descriptive noun and a number seem to be relatively popping up more and more. The Hateful Eight, which was good. The Ridiculous Six, which was stupid and dumb and just awful. Now we have the Magnificent Seven, which features a few well-known actors and a few I don't personally recognize. Uh, Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington, the two out of the seven poster, I guess, characters that I personally recognize. I'm sure some of the others are recognized elsewhere. But anyways, the movie does start off with them. Denzel Washington's character uh, comes across this town after it's being brutally attacked by this guy and his massive crew who take over the small, hopeless town, and some of them even get ran out, some of them get killed, of course. So this lady uh, wishes to get peace once again back to that area. So she, along with another, go with these two and start to assemble the rest of the crew. And a good chunk of the movie, I would say almost the first half, is gathering these seven and then developing them a little bit. Uh, Not quite to the extent that I thought it was going to be based off of the praises that I've heard. But I do think that the best part of the movie does come at the end, which does take a while to get to, but uh, it is just a crazy, crazy shootout as uh, this guy who took over the town, he left with some of his men to another area. He was going to come back, and he had heard what the seven were doing. They retook the town. They took over other areas that he had taken over previously. So he brought back his men, his army of however many. They were saying 200. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but they charge in, and then the town has some surprises here and there as they are able to lure them into the town and have these little traps, and it is just a crazy, crazy battlefield. And some of the seven actually do die in this movie, which I didn't expect to see. Um, and but I think that actually really helps this particular Western uh, stand out, much like the Hateful Eight did. Um, and yeah, the Hateful Eight. That's a movie where everyone died almost essentially. So we have the Magnificent Seven. They do manage to, of course, rescue the town, but with some casualties along the way. And yeah, as I said before, the characters they build them up enough, I guess. Um, but I still found it to be an enjoyable movie. I mean, there wasn't any parts where I was necessarily bored by it. So, this number seven is actually a pretty accurate thing because I'm actually going to give this movie an accurate 7 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie, uh, and that's usually where I land. Most of my movies are pretty enjoyable. 7 out of 10. Um, it does have a few issues, like I said, with the lack of character development and whatnot. I mean, they have those little night things happening, but there isn't much happening. I mean, there's a little bit happening, like I said, enough to get a general idea of who these seven are, but just not quite enough where they die, it's just like, oh no, you don't feel that much of an impact. I feel like I do feel like the music did help though with that, at least throughout the movie, because the music was really good. Um, and last, I want to say, because the movie's 2 hours, so the last hour of this movie is pretty crazy with the whole attack. And that's about it. It was an enjoyable movie. I had fun with it. I'd recommend it, at least to watch. So, yeah. With that being said, this has been Thomas Jr., aka Mustached Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.